Good morning once again. Well, a real treat for music lovers today, an exclusive catch-up with one of the most enigmatic names in music history. He burst onto the scene with all those hits and then pretty much disappeared from view at the peak of his career after converting to Islam. I'm talking about the artist originally known as Cat Stevens. These days he's Yusuf, and I spoke to him about his amazing life and his incredible career.
Morning has broken like the first morning.
In the 1970s, he was rarely off the airwaves or our turntables with a seemingly endless string of hits.
I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow.
Cat Stevens, the English singer-songwriter, folk pop poet who single-handedly provided the soundtrack for a generation.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. And it's hard to get by just upon a smile.
1966 is when I first brought out my first record. So that's kind of, you know, over 40 years, coming up to 50. And the music's still around, which is, it's great.
Oh, it's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through.
We all have our favorite Cat Stevens song. What's Yusuf's?
I always like listening to Remember the Days of the Old Schoolyard. I don't know why.
Remember the days of the old schoolyard. We used to laugh a lot.
You can hear the whole vibe. It is one of youth and exuberance and love and happiness, and when we, you know, had imagination.
Then in 1977, innocence nearly turned to tragedy with the event that changed his life.
When I was touring along with Jimi Hendrix and all those kind of very flowery and interesting fellows, we, you know, I was doing everything. I was doing everything. And that burnt me out very, very quickly. So I got TB. One day I was swimming in Malibu, in Los Angeles, and suddenly I lost it. I completely lost all my power to stay afloat. And I just knew that this was possibly it, you know. And so I called out to God, because I never lost my faith in God. And the moment I did, you know, a little wave came from behind. It wasn't big, it wasn't like a tidal wave, you know, some people have described it. But it was a little wave, and suddenly the current was going this way. And I had all the strength I needed. And that was my little miracle. And then I received the Quran, and everything was kind of history after that.
And then he disappeared, deciding to dedicate his life to education and philanthropy within the Muslim community. The man who invited us all on the peace train was doing it his way. So how difficult has his life become in the past decade?
What's difficult is if you stay absent, other people write your script for you. So what you have to do is come out and communicate. And that's kind of like one of the reasons why I'm coming back again, so that people can hear me speaking directly rather than listening to what other people say that I said.
These days, a Yusuf concert is a cause for celebration, as we saw when he toured Australia earlier this year. So do his religious beliefs ever collide with the excesses of the music business?
Not really, because I've got a lot of charities I can give money to, and you know, I run charities in various parts of the world, helping orphans and things. So there's never a lack of something to do with the money. I mean, and my wife also helps me when she goes out shopping. You know, it's the simple things. I've now got grandchildren, and you know, it's a whole new world.
Thank you, Sydney. I love you.
He is a cool cat in a wild world, I've got to say. He was actually in Australia over the weekend putting together a new musical, sort of Mamma Mia style, with all his catalogue of songs, a musical called Moon Shadow. He's working with some Aussies on that. And of course the DVD of his Live in Australia to a Rhodes singer is available now, and well worth a look if you are a fan, as I am.
Me too.
It's just absolutely fantastic. And I must say thanks to Paul Dainty for lining up that exclusive interview, because he doesn't do too many of them.
No, it's fantastic. It was great to hear from him.
Yeah, lovely.
Well done.
Thanks a lot for that, Richard. Well, still to come, we'll find out what's on the itinerary for Oprah's fans